What's up, everybody? It's KJ, and I am here to give you my Week 3 team builder for ISL. So, we're playing Lemon this week. Lemon is currently 0-2. However, he is a very good coach. Don't let that record deceive you. He was the runner-up in the ISL Season 2 Beginners. Like I said, very good player. Play his last game, there was a lot of hacks. Good game without the hacks, but yeah, a lot of hacks and on both sides. So it wasn't that it determined it, but it definitely made the game a little bit unplayable. But regardless, that's completely beside the fact. So I'll get into his team very quickly. So he just recently picked up Mega Slowbro. He had Mega Banet before. He's got Heatran, Florges, Umbreon, Noivern, Claydol, Rotom Fan, Conkeldurr, Gyarados, Toxtricity, and Virizion. He had Virizion last season. I know he absolutely loves that thing. And he was able to very frequently set up and put a lot of pressure with it, so got to make sure that we're prepared for that. So, onto the team. We got this week. We are bringing a mixed Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko kind of breaks through a good amount of his team, especially the walls like Mega Slowbro and the Heatran, the Florges, the Umbreon, or not, rather, yeah, the Heatran, the Florges, the Umbreon, yeah. So, really depending on Coco here to kind of do work. Coco is EV'd to outspeed the Virizion, so hopefully we can get a player off on that, take care of that. But yeah, mixed Coco, and basically it's gonna hopefully be sort of a late game, kind of in the back cleanup mon. So next we got Escavalier. Rocking the Assault Vest, max specially defensive. Basically, Escavalier is here to soak up hits from the Toxtricity. Does that very well. Returns an Oko with Drill Run. Got the Mega Horn for coverage on the Claydol, as well as the Slowbro and the Umbreon, although it's not hitting Slowbro as hard. Iron Head for the Florges. And knockoff just to, for coverage as well as just to take items off. Typically, if we're expecting Virizion switch in, then might not want to stay in on that. But we'll still have to play around the knockoff, so see what goes there. Pretty standard Vaporeon set, so running Wish, Scald, and then Toxic and Heal Bell. No Protect this week, but I think the Toxic to sort of try to chip away at the Umbreon or the Florges is pretty important. Vaporeon here is good because it kind of walls the potential Gyarados setup and sweep. So, and just Heal Bell for keeping things like Gallade and Coco and Victini healthy. So, yeah. Next, we got the Mega Gallade running Justified. So, with a Swords Dance, Mega Gallade can kind of just blow through this team. So the plan is to get a Swords Dance off early, and if we can get a Swords Dance off early, then Mega Gallade can just start breaking things. And that's kind of the plan. Like, Mega Gallade is EV'd to outspeed the Virizion. And yeah, I think the combination of this hits almost the entire team super effectively. Like, if we get the Swords Dance off, then we 2-hit KO Mega Slowbro. Close combat coverage for Heatran, for Umbreon. We've got the Psycho Cut hitting most things fairly hard. Leaf Blade's also hitting Claydol. So yeah, just all in all, Mega Gallade breaks a lot of his walls, and then the rest of them, like, the rest of his mons that are more frail, Mega Glade just kind of wrecks those with its stab. So there's that. All right, then we have the Gligar running immunity with the Eviolite. The idea here is get rocks up. I want to be able to U-turn out. We need a defogger for this week just in case because he has a lot of potential rock setters. And we can Earthquake here. And so, yeah, Gligar just kind of... It stops the potential poisons. And it also just kind of takes some of the hits. It can pressure Heatran, which is nice. And yeah, it's just generally bulky. I think this is... I made this team so long ago that I'm drawing a blank on the exact EVs, but I think this is also for Toxtricity. Yeah, so with this EV spread, we are living a Boom Burst from Timid Toxtricity, living 2 Boom Bursts from Timid Toxtricity. Yeah, so it can switch in. Yeah, all in all, like I think this is solid. Yeah, we'll have to just kind of see. So, and then the last mon is Scarfictini. Got Psychic and Thunderbolt for coverage. U-turn to pivot out if we need to, and then Final Gambit. So Final Gambit Victini actually hits every mon on his team with this with 216 HP. Hits every mon on his team and Okos except for the Conkeldurr, I believe, is the one mon that doesn't. Yeah, Conkeldurr is the one that doesn't get hit by that. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, sorry for the short team builder. I'm actually recording this minutes before the game. I totally forgot to record this here. So I'll have the game for you and we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, so we got the game against Lemon. Let's get into it. So looking at this, I was like, okay, well, he's going to lead maybe Heatran, maybe Claydol, something to get rocks up. So I'm going to go Victini and just kind of scout. Decided to just click U-turn here, which was fine. And he reveals that he is, in fact, a Heatran set with rocks. So that was fine. We have Vaporeon. So I was considering Toxicing here, but just in case, I wanted to go into... I wanted to click Scald. If we get a burn on Virizion, that would have been great. Unfortunately, we do not here. So he kind of has free reign to Swords Dance here if he wants to. I have to switch out. Just the Leaf Blade threatens and go into Gligar. And he actually decides to close combat, which I think was the right call, considering he was probably expecting the Escavalier to come in. So, yeah. So he goes into Claydol, and we actually get our own rocks up here. I was kind of expecting him to go into Claydol. Considered defogging, but I figured there would be other opportunities to defog, so wasn't super... Didn't care about that too much. And this was an opportunity to get Gallade in to set up, because Gallade sets up on Claydol. So, wasn't sure if he was going to stay in here. So decided to just Mega Evolve and go for the Swords Dance. So, in hindsight, I think it would have been better to go for a Leaf Blade here, expecting the Slowbro switch in, because that was kind of his only switch in. But I didn't, and that's unfortunate. And I'm actually going to speed some of these turns up, because I was really dumb. So I made some... I completely forgot about Mega Slowbro's ability, which is Shell Armor. And so we actually go back and forth a bunch of times, and I think actually that was a roll. I'll check in with Lemon, but pretty sure that was a roll. I calced it doing 32 to 37, I believe. So there was that. But we go back and forth, and I'm actually going to speed this up even more. Back and forth. And then around, I think, turn 18 or 17, yeah, I realize, okay, I'm just being a complete idiot. Like, it has shell armor. Why am I doing this? So I go into Vaporeon, he decides to switch out, and then I Toxic the Virizion, which is perfect. So now even if he sets up a Swords Dance, we can go into the Escavalier and eat any hit, which is great. But we go into Gligar here, and he does set up a Swords Dance. Yeah, like the Escavalier was kind of behind something further on. I wanted to make sure I got rocks off, so he goes for a Leaf Blade, and we go for the Defog, and then he goes for another Leaf Blade, killing the Gligar, which is fine. Got that out of the way. Whatever, we got rocks off. So now Victini can come in whenever it wants and just click Final Gambit. But here, we actually come back into the Gallade, and now the decision is, does he let us have the kill, which he does, because that gets in theory, that gets Slowbro in for free. So he goes into Slowbro, we go back into Vaporeon, and he Iron Defenses, that's fine. And this is where things take a turn, because I Toxic again, and he goes into Conkeldurr, which is kind of unfortunate, but because now he's going to get the Guts boost, but that's fine, because it chips away the Conkeldurr faster. So here I'm expecting a Facade, so I decide, it's a Facade or Mach Punch, but I wanted to get more chip off. So I Scald, and he goes for the Facade as expected. I wasn't expecting him to run Thunder Punch, and I think Facade was what hit Vaporeon the hardest when I did the calc. So yeah, now I'm expecting, okay, Facade again, I'll go into Escavalier, which can eat one of these hits. So go there. And now I'm thinking, okay, anything that comes in, like, I'm clicking knock off here because I either knock off whatever item that the Heatran has, or I get big damage on anything else. So I go for the knockoff, which is solid damage, and knock off the Shuka Berry, which didn't really affect anything here. Decide to sack off Escavalier, and here I should have went into Koko, and I regret not going into Koko. Instead, I go into Vaporeon, which is okay. And this next play is good because I expected him to switch, and I go for a Wish. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get to full, which is great. But I should have went into either Gallade or actually I should have went into Victini here because the Dragon Dance was obvious. And with Scarf Victini, we would have been able to threaten the Gyarados, and he probably would have expected a Thunderbolt, so we'd have switched into the Claydol, and then we would have gotten the Claydol, and then Koko just wins the game with the set we had. But, however, didn't do that. I Toxiced, and then I Toxic again, and I just wasn't thinking here. Like, Gyarados, at this point, I knew it was over. Like, and I missed the Toxic as well. But I knew at this point it was over. When he revealed Power Whip. I completely forgot about Power Whip. I was calcing and looking at Earthquake calcs, and I was like, even if he's, like, I knew he was Moxie, and I was like, I don't see how he kills Vaporeon. Like, he doesn't get electric coverage, and I just forgot about Power Whip. And at this point, it's pretty pointless to watch because he just sweeps through the rest of the team. So yeah. That was, so 2 huge mistakes on my part. I forgot about the shell armor on the Mega Slowbro, and then I forgot that Gyarados gets Power Whip. That's a Gen 8 thing. It never got coverage for other bulky waters before. Now it does. And yeah, I kind of just dropped the ball on that one. So We're gonna move to 2-1 on the season. I think the differential's plus. I think differential's gonna be +2 now. So we got the game of the week next week. Coming off of a loss, hoping to come back and get a dub next week. All right, thanks everybody.